Welcome to Create by T. Today I have some flips for you. For project number 1, it is very easy. I purchased this little round gold frame for my booth. I wanted to add something to it to make it look a little more interesting. So I went to the Graphics Fairy website and I chose just a vintage botanical print to print off and add to the frame. Once I had my image printed out, I simply took the back off the frame and traced it so that it would fit inside my frame nicely. A very easy project for anyone who wants to update a frame with just an image. I plan on adding this to my booth, and this is how it turned out. For project number 2, I purchased this little metal crate with these little glass bottles in it. I simply took some greenery that was also thrifted and clipped it to add to a few of the bottles. I wanted to add just a little something more, so I went to Flea Market Rescue's Etsy shop and I printed off these cute little vintage tags. I cut one out and I added it to one of the bottles with some string. I think the tag added a nice little touch. I will also link her shop below in my description box. And this is how it turned out. For project number 3, I had several of those glass yogurt containers in my stash to use up. I started by painting the outside of 2 of them with some white chalk paint. I then took some of my air dry clay and put it across the front, smearing it to the side a little bit so that it would stick to my jar. Then I took some of my IOD crockery stamps and imprinted into the clay with one of the stamps. Once that was dry, I took some of my antiquing wax and took my brush over the pot. I then took a wet wipe and just wiped it off to give it a distressed and vintage look. I then used some of this twine to wrap around the top of the pot. I just put a little knot in it and then added a couple clips of greenery, and this is how it turned out. For project number 4, I purchased one of these canvas bags at Hobby Lobby. I believe it was $3.99. I then took some of the printable transfer paper that you iron on. I chose an image that I liked and I printed it out on my paper. I then heated it up with my iron to do the transfer. The transfer peeled off, not quite as I had planned, so I needed to come up with something different so I didn't waste the bag. I decided to distress the bag by taking some sandpaper to it. I made some distressing around the edges and some holes in the front as well as some of the graphic. This way it looked like it was meant to be and gave it a vintage distressed old look. And this is how it turned out. Now these projects are all ready to go into my booth. If you enjoy this sort of content, thrifting and hauls, please consider subscribing to my channel and helping me grow so that I can make more videos. Thanks for watching.